Hey guys, welcome back to We Watched Movie. I'm Mike, and this is another Scream update. Yes, I am very aware of what I look like. And, you know, I almost wore a hat. And I said, nah, just give it to me straight. I know it's bad. And it'll grow back. So, you just go ahead and let loose. You let it happen. I decided maybe I'm having a midlife crisis, maybe not, I don't know, but I got sick of the way my hair looked, so I cut it off. Then I had to match my beard, and I messed it up. And then I had a chin strap, and I said, you know what? Hell with it. We're going to go mustache town, because I like a mustache. It feels right on my face. It may not look right on my face, but it feels right on my face. This is a lot. I'm looking at myself too. I don't like it either. All right, let's get into the update though. Scream, if you can handle that. I told you guys there's going to be so many updates from this book. You could tell already from Your Favorite Scary Movie by Ashley Collins. I'll put a link down below so that you guys can go and purchase this for yourselves because you're gonna wanna read it. I had an entire video set up and ready to go about just the first chapter because there's so much cool information about them making the first Scream. But then, and I literally couldn't put this down. I got through 3 or 4 chapters immediately before the wine kicked in. And then yesterday I went and looked at the Scream 7 stuff, and there's just so much interesting stuff in there that I haven't seen anyone talk about. So I thought I'll shave my head and we'll talk about it together. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, by the way, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We are live. You can come and roast me in person if you dare. No, seriously, it's fine. 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk Alien Earth, but we will keep it spoiler-free for those who don't watch the show. But we're also going to talk the day's movie news and whatever you want to discuss about this as well. Halloween game, all of it. So come hang out with us tonight and bring a wig. So, getting started, we have the first thing in this that's very interesting is that Kevin Williamson makes it very clear that this Scream franchise, the Melissa Barrera stuff, whatever, this Scream franchise could keep going until the end of time if they wanted to. They're very clear about talking how the beauty of this franchise is that anybody at any time can pick up the Ghostface mask and become Ghostface. But moving on specifically into this movie, he says that this movie is going to be standalone, but it will probably feel more like the original films than any of them. Now, I did see this in an article beforehand, but specifically, this will come into play later in the video, about this being a standalone film. It's hard to get a read on what they're saying here, because there's some things that they'll say when it seems like this is going to be like some sort of a final for multiple storylines, and there's other things that you read that make you think differently. We'll get into it. I found out in this book, for starters, that Kevin Williamson, after Christopher Landon left the project, he wanted to get radio silence back. He actually reached out and tried to see if he could get radio silence back, and how he ended up becoming the director of the project is first getting Nev on board. So Guy Busick writes the story, they go and they get Nev on board, they sit her down, they explain it to her, and she apparently absolutely loved what they had, was head over heels for it. She had some questions about a couple things, but she said that she was in as long as they worked out the financials, and obviously they did that. It was when Kevin Williamson was actually working on another project with Scream producer William Shrek, where he mentioned that, hey, with this project, by the way, let them know I want to direct it. And that just set off a light bulb in his head. Now, he had asked him about Scream before, just like offhand, hey, would you ever direct a Scream movie? And Kevin Williamson said, oh, hell no, I would never, ever do that. But when he mentioned that he wanted to direct this, the guy thought, well, why wouldn't you just want to direct Scream? But he didn't ask him right there. He just got super weird. And then once they had Nev on, the producer talked to Nev Campbell, and her and him both went on Zoom, met up with Kevin and said, hey, would you like to direct Scream? And he immediately said yes. He got emotional. He cried. He said he sobbed to his partner. He said it was an instant yes. This is all, by the way, paraphrasing. You should definitely get the book. I don't want to steal from the book's thunder. It's all worth reading, all in its own right. I'm never going to do it justice. I'm just talking about some of the interesting topics we can discuss. But moving on past that, that's how they got Kevin Williamson on board. But something really interesting to me that William Shrek also said, if no other movie ever gets made in the history of the Scream franchise, I'm glad that this movie specifically got made. As long as this movie gets made, no matter what, I'm going to be okay. And there's several lines like that make you really think, like, there is something specific, and I don't want to say final specifically, but kinda, about this movie. We already know they got Kevin Williamson back. They got Marcos Beltrami back. He's been sharing scores of Sydney's Lament. Now it's Mrs. Evans' Lament online, if you've seen that. You're bringing all these characters. Stu is back. In what fashion yet, we don't know, obviously, but they're bringing back all the feels of the original film. But there's multiple things they say here that seem like it's going to end here. I don't know. Everyone's a suspect. You know what? That's it. It's a major bookend. That's what it feels like. Whatever happens in this movie, and if it spawns 2 or 3 sequels, whatever, I can tell by what they're saying here that Scream 7 is going to be some sort of bookend for some sort of something. And Kevin Williamson in the book actually mentions that this is the finale of Scream 5 and 6. This puts Scream 5 and 6 to bed, but he says, but we do it with Sydney and with Gail and with a few surprises along the way. The only characters coming back from 5 and 6 that we know about are Chad and Mindy, but somehow this is going to also cap 5 and 6. There's something that's going to happen here that's just going to put a wall up. And I'm not sure what that is, but he goes on to talk about that a little bit more when he talks about would he ever direct another one. And he said at the end of the day, you can't pretend there's going to be another movie. This could be the only one. So everything has to be in this film. If it works, then there will be another one. So there you go. They're not going to like end the franchise here. We know that. Thank baby Jesus. Thanks Christmas Kringle Christ. I know people are upset about that because people are like, it's time to end. Everything needs to stop. No more blah, blah, original movies. All right, well, that's fine. We got a lot of great original movies too. They can keep making Screams every year until the day I fucking die. I don't care. Maybe my hair will grow back. But we can't just think we're gonna get another film. I'm sure the studio can. But then he says, but this will probably be the only one I'll do. So I've got to do everything I want to do. So I don't know if he's saying that they won't want to bring him back after this, or if he's pretty sure that he wants to do a one and done. And again, that tells me something final is coming. Whether this is definitely Sidney Prescott's last movie, they've already said she's not going to die, but that could be a red herring. You never know. I don't expect her to. Obviously, nobody really does, but there's something big that's going to happen in this film, I feel like. He also goes on to say that he wants to make the movie specifically emotional this time around. And there's a lot of talk about going back to the original movie, and you worry there's going to be nostalgia bait, things like that, but also, he says, literally, I'm really excited we're going to be able to touch on some themes and ideas and go back to some of the origins of Scream. But he also mentioned specifically that he thinks that this film moves the franchise forward. Again, another hint that they're not going to end the whole thing in any way, but just some of these storylines. I do feel like something big is going to happen, obviously. You got to get that emotion from somewhere, obviously. So it's going to be interesting to see, specifically because Wes Craven didn't kill his heroes. And another interesting thing they mention in this book is how he literally wants to make this movie and make it feel as though Wes Craven himself directed it. He wants this to feel as close to a Wes Craven film as he can. So every decision he asks himself in the director's chair is he's hoping that that's the same decision that Wes would have made. That, along with everyone coming back. It's funny, they said that Courtney Cox, when they told her that Kevin Williamson was going to direct the movie over Zoom, she said, about fucking time. And that was her response. So it just makes sense. It's all coming together. It's beautiful. I love everything that we're hearing about this. And so, guys, that is the Scream 7 update as we stand here today. I'm sure there will be more. I know I just did a Scream update video. If you missed that one, I'll put it at the end of this. But this book is a treasure trove. Check it out. I'll put a link down below. Also, check us out tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, live, as we said. We'll see you guys there.